Hey guys, it's Max. How's everybody doing? Got a new top 20 list out tonight. My spreadsheets are fixed. I've been working on them. All the data is correct. Apology for last week. Their Hui should have been number one and wasn't even on the list. I didn't discover it until after the list came out. But anyway, apologies to Hui fans out there. Spoiler alert, Hui is on this week's list. What place do you think it is? All right, we're going to look at the short term first. All right. Top 20. Let's start the countdown. Ooh, look at that. NVYY, that's a good one. NVIDIA based from Granite Shares. 3.2% NAV return with nearly a 90% yield. Number 20 on the max factor, NVYY. XPay from Round Hill. I believe it's 20% target fund, but its trailing 12-month yield is actually 21. Good job. The 5% NAV return is very solid. Next, number 18, JPMO, also a little bit more than a 5% NAV return with a 31% yield. 16% total return for last year, so great job. All right, let's see who number 17 is. SPY-T, wow, okay. I think I see our first grudge match of the night. But SPY-T has a dividend yield of 18.8 on a trailing 12-month basis, but it's actually a 20% target fund, I believe, last time I checked. Has a solid NAV return. It has about the same, it has similar stats to XPay and a similar target and similar total return. Let's make XPay versus SPY-T our first grudge match of the night. And let's go, we'll go year to date. I'll say we'll go year to date on all these. All right. In one corner, we have SPY-T in the first grudge match of the night. Or whatever, first matchup. These are always good. These are usually good. Am I sharing the screen? I'm probably not sharing the screen, am I? I hope I'm sharing the screen. I just want to check before I get through the whole freaking thing. Yeah, good. So someone would put something here if I want to share. I'm sharing. That would have been a nightmare. Oh my gosh. I've already shot this once, so you don't even want to know what let's just not even talk about it. All right, getting on with the list. But back to the grudge match. So that was tight. That was anyone's ball game. XPay has done a little better recently though, but they were right together for a while. Anyway, great job, XPay. Great job, SPY-T. Let's look now at number 16. Oh, look at this. This would be a good one also. We should run QDTE now against XPay. QDTE probably would beat XPay. Anyway, number 15, we have GUI. GUI and JPMO might be a good matchup. We'll try to find a better one though. FEPI, all right, FEPI yielding 29%. That's really good. NAV return for the quarter is 6.2. Total return for the year, the past year, of 12.6. Great job, FEPI. Number 13, SDTY. Okay, I think I see a matchup here. SDTY yielding about 24% with a 5% NAV return. Looking really good. Well, actually, let's wait for a better matchup. IWMW. Okay, this thing is, we don't talk about this one that much. But this guy's been putting up some massive numbers, nearly 6% NAV return for the quarter, 23%. Let's run IWMW against SDTY. Let's make that our next matchup. We never talk about IWMW. I remember I followed it when it first came out, and I think it's on the buffer report every day. I mean, it has been doing well recently too. So overall, the SDTY from YieldMax is beating it, but of course the S&P's been hotter than the Russell, but the Russell's catching up. That wasn't a really fair comparison. All right, I'll try to make a more fair one next time. It's good to see IWMW on the list. Will's a good one. Look at this, ton of NAV return, 6.6, and combine it with the respectable yield at nearly 12.5, 9% total return for the year. Great job, Will. Number 10, XYZY, based on block, of course, 90% yielder with a 6% NAV return. Are you serious? That's awesome. Unfortunately, over the past year, it's struggled. It's pretty much flat, down a little bit over the past year. All right. Then we have Clip. Clip has benefited from the tariffs indirectly, I guess. Or it has been anyway. But it doesn't look that great. Only a NAV return of 4.2. Dividends respectable. It did have a pretty good year at nearly 18% or nearly 19% total return. It's a good job, Clip. All right, here's Huey. Now, Huey was number one last week, or should have been, and I didn't discover until after I'd already published the video. My apologies to Huey fans. Huey is awesome. But Huey has pulled back a little bit, and it's reflected here in the NAV return. The NAV return last week was up way more. It was in first place. It had to be. Anyway, but in Huey's also giving it to you in terms of yield. I mean, that's, oh my gosh, 106%. All right. Number 7 is Soxy. Now, Soxy's a target 12 fund, but it's paying 10.2 on a trailing 12-month basis. NAV return is 12. I'm always talking about balanced. I mean, 10 and 12. I mean, that's just kind of a middle of the range fund. You get about half your return from dividend and about half your return from NAV, a little bit more. All right. Next, number 6, CLM. Now, this is a good one. Of course, this is from Cornerstone, and they have a rights offering, and my math doesn't include the rights offering. I don't know how to figure it in because it's different comparing a closed-end fund to an ETF. Anyway, but I think this would be a great matchup. This should be our next grudge match right here is CLM and what about CLM and Soxy? I mean, they're both middle of the road, kind of steady, good. I mean, we'll see. CLM. Like I say, it's not entirely fair because I know that closed-end funds trade a little bit different. And with the rights offering, you can even do better. But anyway, both of these are good. There's no losers here. Once you get this high on the list, it looks like Soxy has it a little bit year to date, but all right, let's get over here, the top 5. Number 5, Goop. Goop's incredible. I mean, middle of the range yield, but look at all this NAV return, 20% NAV return almost, and 20% total return. That's a good even Steven, 15, 20, and 20. That's even better than that last one, those 10 and 12. You really want about a third in each of these. I mean, and you want them all to be as high as possible, but even is better, in my opinion. I mean, everyone wants a high yield, but at what cost? I mean, there's some ETFs give you your return in a more balanced way. Balance isn't everything. I mean, heck, if you like high yield, that Huey has it. All right, OARC. I mean, 50% yield, that's not bad. Combine it with 11.8% NAV return, it's actually really good. When you think about the fact that it was up 32% last year. Nice job, OARC. We're getting into the rarefied air. It's getting hard to breathe up here. Number 3, NVDW. All right, NVDW yielding 44%. NAV return 20%. That's incredible. That is incredible. Should we run NVDW against OARC? Let's make that a little matchup. Boy, look at that. Nice job. Nice job, Round Hill. That NVDW is killing it. That little bit of extra leverage they use is really helping. And to be honest, it didn't look like it was down that much more than OARC. It's hard to tell on this chart, but it looks like they were down about the same. But then NVDW just exploded in this last bull market. Great job, NVDW. The W funds are almost always in the top 5 somewhere. Usually we have a couple of them. we'll see. Now, NVDY, though, this one's no slouch. I mean, it's going to give you more of your alpha or your return in the form of yield, a little bit less than NAV return, but 26% total return isn't bad for last year. Anyway, all right, number one. Now, this one I don't think anyone would argue with. YETH. I mean, the other ones were TradFi, and this is not TradFi. It is. It's because it's an ETF. But it's on an asset that's the asset of the future or whatever. That's awesome. That is awesome right there. All right. So hopefully you guys' favorite made the list. There's the list right there. If you want, you can have the link to this and check it out yourself. What does this mean? Reveal winner? Oh, look at that. Okay, that's cool. All right. So let's go to the long-term list now. All right, here we go. Number 20, Dizzo, starting with a monster 37% yield and a 20% total return last year. Had a little bit of problems this quarter. Down 3% is bad when the market's making all-time highs, but I mean, it's paying a 37% yield. Remember, that NAV return right there for the quarter doesn't include the yield, so you're really in a quarter, it's going to pay a fourth of 37. It's going to pay like 8.5%. So you're really at plus 5.5% total return. But anyway, all right. But yeah, there's better ones, and that's why this is number 20. Or there's been better ones. Speaking of better ones, we have MSFY, a little bit lower yield, better or really good NAV return, and decent total return. JPMO. Good one. That one's on both lists. Number 18. Number 17, QDTE. Boy, this one's good. We should run this one against somebody and compare it. I mean, this one's a spec monster. It's a monster on the specs. I mean, a little bit low on NAV return for the quarter, but I mean, 16% total return last year, and it's based on an index. That's a good one. All right, number 16, TSLP. Okay, well, that's good. That's the first one's from Curve. Anyway, that's a really nice total return, a 25% total return with a 31% dividend yield. Just think, and there's 15 more coming up that are better than this. The one drawback with TSLP has been this quarter. It snaps, so lately, but it's not always about what have you done for me lately. All right, it is most of the time. Clip's looking good. A good one on both lists. Number 14, AIPI. Somebody asked me in a comment. I didn't answer it because I didn't know what to say, what I think about AIPI. I really have never studied it. I've never done a video on it. But if it keeps staying on this list, maybe I'll do a video on it. I mean, there's just so many more out there anyway, but maybe I need to do a video on this one. 38% yield. NAV returns, not great on the quarter, but it was better than some of the other ones we just saw. Nearly 20% total return for the past year. AI, I mean, what's not to like? You know me, I like big tech, but I have FEPI and GPTY and that kind of stuff. Or I have GPTY and LFGY. That has big tech in it also. All right. YMAG. Look at this. This thing's, a 48% yield, 22% return last year. All right. Number 12, GLDI. Wow. That's the first gold-based one. Hopefully we'll have another gold-based one we can compare it to, but this is balanced. If you like balance, you're getting 15% of your money back over the past year in yield or distribution, and then 21% back in, an upside or total return. All right, GDXY, I see a grudge match coming on. This one has a 45% yield, 3% NAV return, and a 23%. Yeah, let's run GDXI and GLDI. GDXY is, of course, from GDXY is from YieldMax, of course, and GLDI. That's what I was pausing on. I can't remember who GLDI is from. I know who GDXY is from. Anyway, Wow, that's a good look for GDXY from YieldMax. That is a great look for those guys. I mean, but both of these funds, look at the dividends. GLDI's kicking off, $18. Just over a little bit over half a year, but on 154 for a year, it's a huge. It's probably 15% dividend, and it's catching tons of upside. It's what's not to like. Now GDXY is just absolutely killing it, paying you nearly $5 over a little bit more than half a year, so probably $8 or $9 on a $14 investment. I mean, that's incredible. And giving you NAV upside, because the NAV went from 1475 to 1542. Not a lot of NAV. These things don't give you a lot of NAV. Even GLDI, which didn't pay as much yield, gave you a small portion of NAV and a bigger portion of yield. But anyway, I want the most of each. I want it all, right? All right. Who do we have at number 10? iGold. Oh my gosh. Maybe we should run that one. iGold, but I don't think it's going to beat GDXY. GDXY has been incredible. Let's run iGold versus Gold I. How about that? This will be our next grudge match. All right, year to date, iGold has it. Great job, iGold. Now let's look at the dividend here. It paid $1 on, pretty low on the dividend. It doesn't give you much in the form of yield, but look at all the NAV upside. It went from about $19 to $22. That's good. That's really good. That is really good. And GLDI is no slouch. So, all right. All right. Who do you think is next on the long-term max factor? Number 9, AMZP. All right, from Amazon, or it's about Amazon. Amazon's the underline, and it's from Curve. All right, FBY, man. FBY had a hell of a year last year. Look at this. I mean, it's still, it hasn't done as great lately as you can see the return for the quarter, 4%. But, man, for the past year, it's killing it. And it's paying a 46% dividend or distribution. All right, number 7 is InFly. This thing is not done great this quarter, but you want to talk about balanced over the past year. It's given you 50% distribution yield and 54% total return. Now, like I say, granted, not so much this quarter, but at least it's still paying this distribution yield. I mean, it's good news situation, right? Number 6 is Goop. Goop with the 15.48% dividend yield, 19% NAV return for the quarter. This is monstrous, and 21% NAV return for the year. Heck yeah, Goop. We don't talk about that one enough. NFLP, I mean, this one's, same thing, kind of a poor quarter, but I mean, when you're returning 47% over the past year and paying a 20% distribution. All right, so there we have it. Let's go to number 4, OARC. OARC's on both lists, of course. OARC's incredible. 48% distribution and a 32% NAV return. And it's doing well this quarter. At the rate it's going this quarter, it could have a 44% NAV return for the next year. So, I mean, if it keeps it up at that rate, and of course, then it's paying a 48% dividend on a 44% NAV return. And because the NAV return's going up, the dividend's getting a little bit higher every week. It's compounding. This would have a monster 95% return if it keeps it up like that, total return. Maybe like 85 or something, but it would be monstrous. All right. NVDY, speaking of monstrous, 74% dividend yield. I mean, it's really good. NVDY is really one of the better ones. Or maybe I should say NVIDIA is, but NVDY does a good job harnessing their ball. All right, YBTC, look at this one. This is one of the Bitcoin ones, one of the non-TradFi, or it is TradFi, but it's, at least it's based on Bitcoin. Somewhere somebody has a Bitcoin that this is derivative to. But in any event, I mean, this thing, 71% total return for the past year. Bitcoin's just had a little bit of, I mean, or at least some of these funds haven't had the best quarters, but I mean, and it's harnessing a bunch of volume. I mean, a bunch of distribution, a bunch of volatility or distribution yield. All right. So who do you think is number one? Here's our list. You can see the countdown from 10. So let's see here. Number one, Maxi. Maxi's a monster. Let's run Maxi against YBTC. But once again, not a great quarter, but you know. Wow, look at that. Year to date, Maxi pulled back a lot further, but then also just going up a lot faster. YBTC more slow and steady. It's pick your adventure right there. Name your adventure. Those are both. I mean, I'd be happy with either one of those, and I have neither of them. With my name being Max, you think I'd have? Wouldn't you? I mean, I would anyway. All right. Was your favorite one on the list? Yeah, Mike, I appreciate it. I'm just glad I'm sharing the screen. Okay, so I got some. So let's look at something here. What's the deal with this WPAY? You guys heard about this? I mean, I heard about it. It's the Round Hill Weekly Pay, right? So WPAY, but it's going to be their fund of funds that pays on a different day or something. I forgot. Anyway, let's just look at this. Somebody in my Discord wants me to look at it. I guess we can just read this guy's tweet. It's a fund of, so it's YMAX. Okay. WPAY generates income via swaps. Okay, so it's their W series. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Oh, this is going to be super popular. People love the W series. Heck yeah. Heck yes. Okay. I'm all about it. All right. I'm all about that one. I'm all about it because I was just thinking about getting some of those when I rebalance, and I was trying to think which one. Should I get NVDW or should I get PLTW or should I get TSLW? Or there's so many good W's, but yeah, that would be it. That's going to be a game changer. You could get that in either YMAX or YMAG and kind of have the best of each company. Or you could get that, whatever. I mean, but yeah, that's going to make a good tactic right there. Good core holding. All right. They have a good index suite also. I mean, XDT, QDT, and RDT, and so do a lot of companies. I wonder if any of these companies would ever make the index suite a fund of funds where it's index vol. It's QDT, XDT, and RDT. You don't have to worry about which one's up more. You just get all of them. That may not be the way. I mean, for scaredy cats like me, or I just like diversification, and they can do that easily, I think. I would think they'd be able to. Anyway, okay. So let's comment on that. There's something else I was supposed to look at. Anyone that wants me to look at something, put it in the comments. I'm probably going to cut this video, cut that live stream into like a shorter one. But if you guys want to have we can shoot the breeze for a little bit. But then I'm probably going to cut that and maybe upload it in the morning just by itself. Maybe make it shorter. All right. So back to Discord. All right. So what else? Okay. So Vista Shares announces distributions for Omaha. That's good. WPAY, that's good. Let's look over here. All right. I guess that's all. I thought I saw something else. All right. Well, let's see what Bitcoin's doing. I haven't looked at the market yet this weekend. I mean, what I usually do is just give TradingView a rest, but I'll look on my phone and just look at Bitcoin, Coinbase Bitcoin. But you can also look at it here. But I really like to watch Bitcoin futures, but I don't think they trade on the weekend. They should though, because Bitcoin trades on the weekend. The CME needs to get with the program. But anyway, let's see if it's moving. Lots of times Bitcoin goes up on the weekend. It's like the night effect, but it's for Bitcoin. All right, we'll look at the Coinbase price. Now, this is a daily chart, but on weekends, it's good to step back and stuff. I was looking at daily charts last night. I can't believe how good these charts look. I mean, this pullback on Bitcoin is barely even a pullback, and it's right to the perfect spot. I mean, it could, in other words, it could get a lot worse. I mean, look back here in, February, March, and April, that was miserable, but that ended up being fine too. So maybe even if that happens, if it goes right to 103 or maybe reverts to mean at 95 and then probably takes off again. I bet you at one point, at one time, I bet you this was a mean. And anyway, whatever. But so that's a great bullish trend. Let's look at SPY. And this last bar looks awesome. This whole chart looks awesome. I mean, it could be a bull trap, but I mean, it could be a bull trap, but, and if you look at it in terms of the 50 and 200 period moving average, it didn't even come close to touching the 50. It probably, if I put a 20 on here, it's probably what it's keying off of or whatever. Maybe I'll slap a 20 on here real quick. All right, we'll look at 20 and 50 instead of, we'll look at shorter term moving averages. Yeah, it's just walking up the 20. But if it hits the 50, it's probably going to be a buy at that point. It probably really wouldn't be a sell until it gets under the 50 and trending down and then making lower lows. So, I mean, yeah, we're in good shape. And even that drawdown last week was no fun, but in the grand scheme of things, it was just totally normal noise on the chart, I guess. Anyway, I get lost in the short-term charts too much, and I like to step back and look at the long-term charts. Okay, so anyway, the Bitcoin's price is down 26 basis points, but who cares? Who really cares, right? But yeah, if there's anything you guys want me to look at, put it in the comments. And if there isn't, that is fine. I appreciate it. I'm going to go write a video script for Hui and Hemi, and maybe I'll do one on this WPAY. But yeah, this thing's going to be a home run. Does anyone know when it's coming out? Let's see if he says right here. Huge pros, of course, are the WPAY keeps you indexed, which is great. It's because the more the merrier. All of their ones are good. You don't want to have to choose. I mean, or especially they'll all be good as long as the market keeps going up. Is Round Hill paying for the Saturday hype of And it's not in Robinhood. Oh, it's not out yet. So retire on dividends. Here he is talking about it. Heck yeah, he's on it. He's all about it. He's already tweeted it. I was busy doing other stuff all day. At least the top 20 list looks better. At least I fixed the graphics, and that's what I was doing. I had to fix the top 20 list. You know how I'm always fighting with my spreadsheets. Well, I had to go fix them. But anyway, I thought I did a good job. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the top 20 list. I hope your favorite fund was on the list. If not, maybe it will be next week, right? All right, guys. You have a great evening. See you later.